Demari, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the Dark Moon Lilith readings for all signs, okay? So what I'm going to do is, rather than splitting up into different videos, it's all going to be in the same video. But what I'm going to do is group it into elements. So we'll start with water, then earth, then fire, then air, okay? So that's how we're going to do it. There are timestamps, so you can find that in the description box below, so you can jump to the section that's appropriate for you. So I recommend, first of all, before we begin, is to start by having a look at your Dark Moon Lilith placement, okay? So take a look at that and see what the corresponding zodiac sign is for your birth time and date, right? And then you'll know which sign it is, and then you'll know which element will apply for your Dark Moon Lilith, okay? So, with regards to the reading, I'll be pulling a few cards from the different decks that I have here. So we'll start off first with the Dark Mirror, we'll then get a card or two from the Moonology, and then we'll get a card from the Divine Feminine Oracle, and then I'll pull some tarot to get further insights, okay? So the reading here on this occasion is a bonus one of special reading for the Halloween season, and what I'm going to be looking at is what the Dark Moon Lilith is trying to tell you at this time, what message is being conveyed and shared by the Dark Goddess in order to help you process whatever is being repressed at this time, anything that's kind of lurking in the background that needs healing, what are your true wishes, wants, desires, and also to take a look at if there's anything additional that needs to be addressed at this time. So first of all, as I said, we are going over to water signs. So let's start by getting a card or two from the Dark Mirror decks. Which Dark Mirror decks trying to reveal? So, first card you have is this me? Hopefully you can see that. Is this me? So, interesting. I got this card actually in the last shadow work reading I did for Cancer. So it's interesting that this has come up again. So this is an energy for all of you water signs that's showing up at this time from the Dark Moon Lilith energy. So I feel like a lot of you are going through a significant transformation. There's a period of transition going from the old to the new, right? From your old identity to a new identity, from one timeline to another. So with a shift like that, you can understand there comes a lot of what could I say? What's the right word for it? There can be little kinks, right? And cracks, and yeah, it's not smooth sailing. Let's put it that way, right? Because what we're talking about is like Dark Night of the Soul type deal. Usually when you're being cracked open, it's to help you elevate to a higher frequency, right? Higher resonance. You know, you are resonating at a higher frequency so that, you know, you are not only more capable and prepared and strong and resilient to, you know, the next set of challenges that come your way, dealing with karmic situations in the past. It's also so that you can, you know, shed a lot of the old that you've been carrying and move towards, you know, this new beginning, this new future, this new cycle, right? And continue, you know, your life path. But I feel like with this being here, it's a case of there may be a little bit of internal struggle with, you know, the old and the new, and trying to assess and adapt and not really knowing what should be staying and what goes. You may have a hard time recognizing yourself because you are coming out of your shell and you are blossoming, you are blossoming into something very beautiful, very attractive, very alluring. I feel like you're going to get a lot of attention, to be honest with you, and you may not even be used to it. You may not be used to the level of attention that you're going to be getting if you aren't already getting it. Even if you are, it may be a case of that you're not very, yeah, you're trying to use your discernment. You're not very trusting because, you know, there's so much shifting around you. So I feel like you're not trusting people easily. So just be aware of that energy. It's good to use your discernment, use your intuition, because not everyone is who they say they are. But, you know, just don't go too far the other way. And just know that it's a transition period. So it's going to be a bit rocky. You know, you're not always going to get things right. Even your intuition may seem a little bit up and down, but that's fine. It's just literally you're just adjusting to the new, okay, to the new paradigm. Interesting. So I think the key message here so far is to embrace, you know, embrace this newness, embrace these changes that are happening within, embrace this new perception and identity that you have, right? So let's get a card from the Moonology. So what is it that the Dark Goddess wants to reveal or encourage our water signs here to do? The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Okay, the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So I feel like it's a case of, yeah, you are going to be shedding more and more and more. So yeah, it's painful. There are times where that becomes very, very awkward. It's like being stuck in an old shell and knowing that that's being stripped away, but piece by piece, right? So you're still growing in that. So there's still pressure and it's still uncomfortable, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can see that things are shifting, right? So you're just being encouraged to go with it, go with this momentum, this energy that's building up in the background, because it's going to catapult you into your new paradigm, which I feel like this is already happening, right? You're kind of going through this process now. So what essentially the Dark Goddess is trying to tell you here is to not fear what you're becoming. That's the key message here. So let's see if we can pull the Divine Feminine archetypal energy for you at this time, which is going to really help in this process. So which of the Divine Feminine goddesses can water signs most benefit from at this time in terms of guidance, energy, personality traits, approach? All benefit water signs of this time: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, so from the from the Divine Feminine deck, you have Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed, my courage gives birth to the divine. So that's interesting. So it's asking you, the Dark Goddess is essentially saying, have faith in one's own divinity, in the divine overall, the universe, right? And know that the more you trust and surrender to the process, the more you have faith that the divine have your back, the more you're going to see miracles, blessings being birthed into your reality, right? And then you as such can also be a part of that blessing. You can even be doing the great work, you know, on behalf of the divine. So that's awesome. Okay, so that's it. I feel like you are being shifted more and more into your true soul mission here, your life's purpose, which could be in service to others in some shape or form, in the form of like spiritual guidance, healing, you know, support in some, you know, shape. But I don't know exactly what that could be, because it's going to be different for each and every one of you. However, I do feel like you'll know if you're getting this call, and if you're already on this path, right? So I feel like it's just, you know, a matter of stepping up and heeding the call. Interesting. So this is kind of a very different energy to what I was expecting to get. But I feel like it's kind of, I mean, especially because these, right, ultimately seem worlds apart. But this is your shadow aspect. This is the Dark Goddess, and this is the Ascendant, right? So this is the thing, I feel like it's a case of, it's helping you to restore equilibrium between your higher self and your shadow. So your shadow is transforming dramatically, right? A lot of healing is taking place unconsciously and consciously, right? To the point where your shadow is becoming an entirely different beast, right? So amazing. And I feel like you're truly coming into alignment with the two aspects as well, which is a message I got very strongly for Cancer, but I feel like this is coming in for all water signs at this time to different degrees. Very much strongly for Cancer. You know, moderately so for Scorpio, and I feel like, you know, you are starting this process now, Pisces, to be honest with you. Okay. So just looking at the tarot now, we have the Five of Swords in reverse, right? Which is air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I feel like it's a case of, with it being in reverse, you have to know that yeah, whatever deception, manipulation, mind games, you know, bullying, fighting, bickering, anything that people did to try and get at you, you know, to undermine you, to hurt you, to, you know, stop you from stepping into your power, has been completely like dismantled, is what I'm getting here, you know. It's like there's nothing that can be done to stop you heading from where you are headed, right? No one can derail you, no one can trip you up at this point. You don't fall into the same traps anymore, the same pitfalls. You've passed those lessons, right? You've broken a very significant karmic cycle, and now your shadow is transforming as a result. Amazing. Next card you have is the Nine of Swords. Okay, so more air energy. So this is talking about, you know, mental anguish, stress, insomnia, anxiety, stress, right? Getting very much in your head. And I feel like it's a case of, yeah, recently you have been going through it. As I said, dark night of the soul energy, right? That's what I feel. You guys have really been going through that on a very profound level, because you are going from one paradigm to another. It's a quantum leap. So with that, it always comes like a very intense dark night of the soul type deal, where you're having to not only process a lot of painful and traumatic situations from the past, but you're also having to do a lot of healing and purging, right? So much purging. So a lot of emotions come up to the surface at this time, and I feel like it's really been doing a number on your headspace, but that is changing, right? Because you are seeing and feeling that you are stronger and you're way more in control, and that actually what it's doing is it's freeing you from this energy, right? But that's what you've been experiencing lately, because of this being triggered, this next stage of healing and transformation. Next card you have is the Four of Pentacles. So Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you're still hoarding a lot of things to yourself. I feel like you're not really expressing yourself very much. I mean, not that you're not communicating, but you're not expressing like a desire to, I feel like you're not expressing a desire to connect with many people at this time. I feel like you're pulling your energy back a lot. I feel like you've been very emotionally detached from a lot of people for a while, because you've had a lot of inner work going on, right? That's what's happening right now. And I feel like it's a case of, you know, your ego is being recalibrated massively. It's being completely redefined. And I feel like, yeah, there's some parts of you that may still be clinging on to the old paradigm, just, you know, with this energy here, out of the fear of the unknown, and, you know, just not being sure if that's the right thing to do. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, you have to just go with the flow here and not hold on so tight out of fear. I know it says greed on the card, but I feel like it's more fear-driven than it being about being greedy. Next card you have is the Three of Swords. Okay, so more air energy, so much air energy so far for you guys. There's not a single water sign showing in the spread, right? There's no water energy here at all. So you guys are very much not in your emotions at this time, but very much trying to think rationally and logically, because I feel like it's your mental health that's been going through the ringer as you've been going through this process. So that's why all these swords are coming up here. 5 of swords, 9 of swords, 3 of swords. And yeah, it's painful, it's difficult, because you see through the cracks, you see through the potholes, you see through the flaws in people's traps, plans, right? You're not engaging anymore, you're just done with it. But there's something that's still very painful about that. Even though you're not engaging, you're not playing the game anymore, it's still very painful. There's still a weight that comes with that, right? Because you're still having to let go of certain connections, you're still having to, walk away from certain environments and situations because you are headed elsewhere, right? The next card you have is the 7 of Pentacles, right? More earth energy. So I feel like with this, that it's just a process, it's going to take time, right? That this anxiety, the stress, the really hard, intense feelings that you've been experiencing while going through this huge rebirth is going to pass, right? It's just a process. So I think that's what's really helping you ground this energy and, retain control when it comes to your mental well-being, because you're able to rationalize it. If you just go based on how you feel emotionally, it's going to be very difficult, But when you're trying to rationalize it from that perspective, and you're just reminding yourself that this is a process, what it is, what you can do to help, that makes it a lot easier for you. And that's what I feel like you're doing. So you're kind of just being gentle with yourself and trying to ease yourself into this new cycle. And then finally, the next card here you have is the Star. So Aquarius energy, hope, it says here. And yeah, this is like wish fulfillment. This is your dreams, your desires, your highest hopes coming to light, right? Coming into your reality. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius as well. There could be an Aquarius that's attached to an old timeline that you're clinging on to because you don't want to let them go, because you see that there's potential here. However, if you don't focus on your own evolution, if you halt your progress based on, a connection, then you may find that it ends in disappointment anyway, right? So the best thing you can do at this time, if there is someone in your life that you want to be close to, or that you feel that you're at distance from, or that you're not currently in a relationship with or have a connection with, that you want to be in that type of connection with, my advice is to just focus on your own well-being at this time. Allow this transition to continue. Keep doing the healing, keep doing the inner work, focus on where you want to be, and you will come into alignment, I feel, right? You will attract either this person or someone who is most suited for you. But I feel like if you sabotage your growth based on certain attributes or connections from your previous paradigm that you're struggling to release, you're just going to lose it anyway. Ultimately, it's still going to be removed from your life, and you're just going to be holding yourself back and stopping yourself from receiving your blessings. So that's what I'm getting here. So the advice from the Dark Goddess for you, water signs, is to continue on the healing path, focus on yourself. You want to focus on yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Look good, feel good, think good. So yeah, it's literally that. You do that and all will be well. And yes, you'll attract exactly what it is that you're wanting. This connection, another connection, another type of dream that you may have, okay? So awesome. I hope that helped anyway, water signs. And yeah, drop a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And I will speak to you guys soon. So, earth signs, let's take a look at your reading. So let's see what the Dark Goddess is revealing at this time. What is it that it's trying to show you? Help you this time. What is it that needs your attention? What is it the Dark Goddess wants to reveal this time? What needs your attention? What the shadow aspect is revealing at this time? Okay. So the card you got from the Dark Mirror deck, Earth signs. So this is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You have Queen of My World, right? Queen of My World. Yeah, so the Dark Goddess is rising within you guys. So what it seems like for me here is that, yeah, you're taking control of your reality at this time. I feel like you're stepping into manifestation mode, right? It's been a long time coming, to be fair, because you guys have been waiting too long on the sidelines, just waiting for life to happen to you, I feel. Whereas now you're taking the bull by the horns, no pun intended, and you're doing something about it, right? That you are, I feel like it's kind of like you're being reinvigorated, you're being revived, you know, your sensuality, your sexuality, your passion, your desire for life, your zest, right? All of that is being awakened within you, because for far too long it's been dormant. You've just been kind of playing your part, doing things diligently and, you know, being very loyal to the T, but I feel like life has become very lackluster for you recently. That's starting to change because of this energy awakening within you, which I do like. The only thing is, obviously, you do have to be a bit mindful with that, because left, you know, unsupervised, she will literally take the world by, you know, the scruff of its neck. Like, it's literally like that. So you have to be aware that, you know, you cannot impact the will of another. It's just not fair, and also it's going to backfire if their will is not aligned to yours. So I feel like, as much as, yeah, there's things in your reality that you can control, and it's good that you're doing that, right? That you're taking charge, that you're taking control of your life again and going after what you truly want. You just have to be aware that, yeah, that other people may want different things, and that, you know, they may not come at it from the same angle. They might not be as passionate as you about it, depending on what it is. And also that, you know, there does have to be a little bit of give and take and flexibility. Even if you are taking the kind of leadership role, which is what I'm seeing here in some shape or form, yeah, you do have to be flexible still. Okay, because this energy, she's not very flexible. You know, it's just, she wants what she wants, and that's it, you know. She's done with hearing the word no, she only wants to hear yes. So you just got to be a bit aware of that, okay? Because there has to be equal give and take. So let's have a look when it comes to the Moonology. What else can we reveal? What will the Dark Moon Lilith reveal this time that can help with this for Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn? Interesting. So you have, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, which is interesting. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio or have it in your chart. But regardless, I feel like it's a case of, yeah, like it says, it's a time to release negativity, right? So whatever you've been harboring, whatever you feel like has been holding you back, whatever's been making you feel not good enough, it's time to kick that to the curb. I feel like that's what you are slowly but surely doing. You're entering this energy. Some of you will be going full force into this energy at this time, and just, you know, putting this to bed, really. Understanding your value, your true worth, what it is you bring to the table, what you're passionate about, and just going after it, right? So I feel like, you know, that aspect of yourself is being awakened, because it's tied into your passion, your desire, your thirst for life again. So that's why it's being awakened, and so that you can dismantle any long-held, you know, beliefs that you have about yourself that is very detrimental to your confidence, your well-being, your esteem, and generally self-love as a whole. So that's what I feel like is happening with that, okay? So let's go over to the Divine Feminine Oracle and see what archetypal Divine Feminine energies that you're resonating with at this time. What goddess are they most attuned with at this time? And that can restore balance. No way. So you've got the same card as the water sign, so that's interesting. And it makes sense because this energy will counter like dark moon Lilith energy when it's, you know, really in full force. So you have Mary of Nazareth, Mother of God, I am blessed, my courage gives birth to the divine. Awesome. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's a bit bright, but hopefully. So yeah, so it's literally a case of saying, like, this is like, again, two very different energies here, the shadow and the ascendant. Both divine feminines, just shadow and ascendant. And I feel like what it's the case of is that when you find a middle ground between the two energies, that's when you found your sweet spot, right? Because yes, I feel like you guys are very loyal, very diligent, very self-sacrificing. You know, you embody this energy very well, Earth signs, right? You do, you really do. Because you want to be that firm foundation for yourself and others. You are dependable, you're loyal, you're humble, you're dedicated, you know what it is that matters most, right? But I feel like, you know, you've been putting your own needs on hold for too long, and that's where this energy is now being awakened. And I feel like it's divinely guided, to be honest. I feel like the divine are actually triggering and trying to awaken that energy within you so that you can restore balance between your needs and the needs of others. So let's see what else we can find out with the tarot here. Yeah, healing is required because of the imbalance. Okay. Alright, so let's go into your tarot part of the reading. So the first card you have is the Four of Swords, right? Four of Swords. So this is air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I feel like it's a case of, yeah, needing to heal, needing to find that perfect balance, right? Between, you know, fulfilling your needs and, you know, appreciating the needs of others, right? So this is it. It's about finding that perfect balance. So you're taking a step back to do that. Next card you have is the Seven of Cups in reverse, okay? Water energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So with the Seven of Cups in reverse, I feel like things are starting to get way more clearer than they were in the past. You know, you're starting to realize that you can be a good person without, you know, throwing yourself into the fire every single time, right? Like, you don't have to be a martyr to be a good person, right? You can be a support, a guide, be of assistance, be caring, compassionate, empathetic, all the rest of it, but not necessarily feel like, you know, you have to kind of take all of the risks, put yourself in the line of danger every time and see what happens, right? That you also need to take care of your own needs, your own wishes are just as valid, right? Next card you have is the Three of Swords in reverse. No, not in reverse, sorry. Three of Swords in the upright. So, more air energy. I feel like you're kind of, yeah, you're choosing to, I feel like you're choosing to walk away from things that you find painful or that makes you feel less than, right? I don't feel like this is you just wallowing it anymore. I feel like you're choosing to walk away from this at this time because you're done. You're like, you know, I can see clearly now what was actually taking energy from me, what was not serving me, what was keeping me confused and preventing me from actually healing myself, because, you know, there's part of me on some level that didn't want to look at it. Whereas now I'm facing it, I'm addressing these issues head on. I'm not putting myself in precarious situations just because, you know, someone else is having some issues or whatever. You know I need to take care of my well-being also, which is good. Next card you have is the Four of Wands, okay? Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we got two fours here, 4-4. So number 4, 44 and 444 could be very important to you at this time. I recommend checking that out in terms of numerology, the angel numbers, and see how that's relevant to you. This is all about stability, building foundations, right? building a foundation within yourself, an unshakable foundation, so that no matter who approaches you in the near future or whatever situations play out, you know you've got you, okay? And that's what it's about. I feel like this is about, you know, your divine feminine and masculine attributes coming into harmony. I feel like, you know, the shadow aspect of the divine feminine had to be awakened, right? It had been dormant for too long. So now it's getting its time in court. It's brought its own stuff to the table. So now all four wands are available and are ready to do its magic, okay? The inner work. So that's what I'm seeing here with this combination. It's a case of now that the shadow aspect of the divine feminine is awake and has brought its wand to the table, you are now in true alignment and you can start going after what it is that you actually want. Start putting your desires, your needs first. Okay. Possibly for the first time in a very long time or even ever, but I feel like that's what you're being called to do at this time. Next card you have, I mean, this is perfect. Queen of Pentacles, okay? This is Capricorn energy, right? But this applies for all of you earth signs who I'm picking up on. And I feel like this is it, you know, it's asking you to look at what is it that you want? Where are you headed? You know, you're not confused anymore. You're not allowing people to misdirect you or misguide you. You're not taking the hit for everyone else anymore. So now you need to focus on your abundance, your aspirations, your passion, as it says, ambition, right? What it is that you're trying to accomplish here. Interesting. And then finally, the last card you have is reliability, okay? Page of Pentacles. So, yeah, I feel like, you know, obviously that's more earth energy, but I feel like here it's a case of, yeah, you're done being, you know, the stabilizing factor for everyone and everything else, right? Like you're always just there holding everything up, but I don't see you doing that anymore because it upsets you, because it's, you know, it's painful and it's difficult to just be the rock all the time and not have the time or energy to be there for yourself, even to be your own rock. And I feel like that's what you're doing now. You're changing it. You're starting to prioritize your own well-being, which is good. So I feel like now, even though you find it difficult to pull away from certain people, that's what you're doing, right? You're pulling away from certain energies. And I feel like you're just bringing yourself back into true alignment so you can feel confident, so you can go after what it is you want, okay? So it's like your time, earth signs, okay? So I really hope that helps. Let me know your thoughts in the, you know, comments. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And yeah, just find that equilibrium. It's gonna take a minute, but I feel like you'll get there. Right now, it's just a case of your shadows being triggered and awakened so that you can, you know, actually start taking action, like, you know, getting that fire in your belly so that the divine masculine aspect could go after what it is that you want and actually, you know, manifest it. So that's why I feel like this was very important, that this was necessary. You're just gonna make sure that you don't sabotage your blessings that are coming in with this energy here by getting too caught up in that energy and kind of losing sight of what's important, and also getting too caught up in old thought processes, negative thought processes that hold you back and bring you back into the same frequency that you were in before. So I hope that helps, and I'll speak to you guys soon. So, fire signs, welcome to your reading. Let's get into it. So this will be for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So let's see, what is it that the Dark Goddess is trying to reveal this time through the shadow aspect? Ooh, that came out very fast for you guys. So what you got here is calling the storm. Awesome. Calling the storm. So you're not messing around, fire signs, right? Aries, Leo, Sag. You guys are very serious, right? Not messing around, not hanging around. So it's interesting how, like, when I was doing the earth signs readings, it was like earth signs are really invoking the fire element at this time. That's what I felt with that fiery redness of the dress of the queen in the Queen of My World card. And then you guys as fire signs are invoking like the air, right, element. So it's interesting how the different elements are invoking different energies, not that which is of their own element, right? But it's interesting because obviously, you know, we have all of these different placements in our chart, but I feel like at times we'll call upon certain energies and certain elements to aid us in our bidding, whatever needs clearing out, working on healing, releasing, cleansing, transforming, whatever, right? So I feel like in this case, fire signs, you know, you still have the red shawl here there, so your passionate fiery energy is still present. It's just kind of in the background. So what it is, it's fueling your desire for change, for significant change, is fueling and giving you, you know, the energy needed to cool the winds of change, right? So not only is it driving you forward to do this and giving you confidence to do so, but I feel like it's actually igniting the magic within you to really invoke those winds of change, right? Because you know that, you know, sometimes the best thing you can do is just, you know, clear everything out, get everything out in the open, clear everything out and just, you know, start from scratch or just start anew elsewhere, right? So it's kind of that energy. I feel like the dark goddess within you is you know, heeding this need, or is trying to get your attention to step into this energy so that you can invoke the winds of change, okay? So that's what's happening internally, whether you realize it or not. So I just pulled a card from the Moonology deck. Your cards are coming out very fast, I have to say. And the card you got is Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, full moon in Leo. So Leo energy. This is still going to apply to all fire signs, right? But obviously this energy is very much Leo's energy. Don't let your pride get in the way. So this is awesome. You know, you invoking this winds of change, knowing that it's needed to just get everything out in the open, clear out all the baggage, purge what needs to be purged, and just move forward with this lightness that is needed, with this sense of peace and calm and serenity, right? And it's saying the only thing that can really jeopardize you from being in that place of inner peace and balance is if your ego, right, starts chattering away and starts telling you falsities and makes you get into a fear state, right? Which is obviously where, you know, that will pull the shadow back into an even lower frequency. And we'll start the usual chatter. Whereas I feel like right now you have a real shot here of clearing out a lot of stuff from the you know, the unconscious. So your pride is the only thing that can kind of really sabotage that process by, you know, feeling like either that you don't have to do that work, or just that, you know, it's trivial, it's not necessary, or that, you know, things will kind of just work out around you. It doesn't work like that, right? So that's the only thing that can kind of really trip you up, is your pride, your ego, right? That's the only thing that can kind of keep the shadow where it is, essentially, and stop that, you know, house cleaning, really. Actually, before I go to the tarot, so let's go to the Divine Feminine energy. Divine Feminine Oracle. Sorry, I'm getting so confused doing your reading. I don't know what it is. I was fine until now. But, you know, your cards are coming out so fast. The energy is just really like, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot here. So my mind is just kind of racing as well. Yeah, fire signs. You guys tend to do that, you know. But, yeah. So let's see what Divine Feminine archetypal energy is coming forward for you. What can help you at this time? Create balance. Ooh, more red. I was talking about red, right? So you got Sekhmet, right? So these are all goddesses, right? And you got Sekhmet, the red lady. And the affirmation here is, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Wow. So Sekhmet is, yeah, I mean, as you can see, she's like a cat-like Egyptian goddess. She was actually, yeah, she's She's depicted more as a lioness, but I think traditionally she was more like a cat, right? It just got changed over the years. Excuse me. It just changed over the, over the millennia, to, I guess, help differentiate her energy more from Bastet, because Bastet's energy is more passive, whereas hers is more aggressive. She's more like the warrior, right? Feline warrior. Whereas Bastet is more like a guardian, right? It's more that kind of energy. So this is it, and it says the red lady, right? So what was I talking about? The red, okay? So I feel like, your intensity, your fire, your passion is still prevalent. Even in the shadow, we can still see it here, but it's kind of subdued, right? With the need to just do a lot of house cleaning when it comes to the unconscious. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are having some really vivid dreams at this time, okay? Really intense dreams that just don't make sense even. They might even just have really random dreams and then not remember it the next morning. And it's just because, there is a lot of cleaning, house cleaning going on when it comes to your shadow. And I feel like the best thing you can do is that if you find yourself in a situation right now, because again, we got all of this, Leo energy here, fire energy, right? So prominent in your reading. I feel like the best thing you can do right now is really find a means to temper your energy, because right now I feel like you can get really triggered, right? Especially while this process is going on unconsciously. So it's like you're entitled to feel what you feel. Like it says, I am pure strength, okay? So strength, Leo, right? I honor my anger by giving voice to it. So it's like, rather than harboring feelings and your anger and any frustrations, you've got to get it out in the open. Like I said, clean up operation. Anything you've been carrying, that you've been holding on to, that involves anger, sadness, any of those lower vibrations, lower vibrational emotions, right? Get it out, express your feelings, communicate, get it off your chest, let it go, right? So that's what you're being called to do at this time. So it's really interesting because it's essentially like saying, be a fire sign and just clear out whatever you need to clear out and you'll feel better. Like it's literally, that's what the dark goddess is saying. It's like, be a fire sign. Okay. So let's see what the tarot has to say. These cards, you guys, But yeah, again, they came out very fast. Alright, so the first card you have is the Three of Wands, so fire energy, your energy, okay? So this is talking of knowing when a good thing's coming towards you, right? Knowing when your ships are coming in, knowing that everything has its time and place, that some things can't be rushed. Patience is a virtue, it even says patience in the card, right? So I feel like the best thing you can do while you're waiting for whatever it is you're trying to manifest, right? Or whatever communication, because this could be, rather than an action, this could be, a scenario as such, or waiting for something to play out. This could be a communication, right? So while you're waiting to have this communication, there may be, because you may have some things that you've been holding on to, harboring some emotions that you need to get out. The best thing you can do is just do the inner work, clear your energy field, because if you bring excessive anger to the situation, I feel like it's not going to get you're not going to get the result you want. And again, it's a warning here. Don't let pride get in your way. So yes, it's important to express yourself clearly and honestly when you get the opportunity, but don't let your pride do the talking. Speak from the heart, right? The next card you have is the Empress. So this is, the Empress is Taurus energy, also can be associated with Aries, Cancer, and Libra, right? But yeah, I feel like ultimately this is you guys, right? Regardless of your gender, right? This is the divine feminine aspect. So I feel like with this being here, it's a case of you have an opportunity to go after what it is that you're passionate about, how you want to express yourself, how you want to communicate, how you want to portray a feeling, an idea, a project, right? You are in your element to do so at this time. Whatever idea that you have, whatever it is that you feel compelled to put out into the world as a form of art, as a means of communication, do it, okay? That's what it's saying. And this is at the center of your reading. So, you know, you are in the best place, right, to do anything creative or anything that really taps into that aspect of your being. Also, it's a good time for sowing, planting intentions, sowing the seeds of intention, because, you know, you're already waiting on your ships to come in. So now's a good time, like I said, to do the inner clearing, like clear this energy out, anything that doesn't serve you, and really focus on the abundance that you're trying to manifest. The next card you have is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So that is air energy, right? Specifically Libra, so you could be dealing with a Libra. I feel like with the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's a case of that, yeah, certain lessons had to be learned in order to come to the understanding that you have now. I feel like you're not okay with how a certain situation played out, however, and that's why you're waiting for an opportunity to express your feelings on it, to be able to find a way to communicate or share what it is that you've been feeling. Because like I said, you are harboring some strong feelings here regarding a situation. So it's about expressing yourself without letting your ego take over, pretty much, and just letting it free flow with this energy here. The winds of change, just letting it flow. Next card you have is the Hanged One. So that would be the Hanged Man, so Pisces energy, could be dealing with a Pisces. So we have three major arcana, you know, literally in the shape of a pyramid here, with the top card being the Empress. So I feel like you are literally coming into your power at this time. You are seeing things from a very different perspective. This is all about perception. I feel like for some of you, you've triggered a very strong spiritual awakening recently. And it's helping to bring you not only into alignment, but it's helping you to see the true nature of things, the true nature of reality, of how, you know, of what you really are as well as a sovereign being. And I feel like now it's giving you a new appreciation and understanding for perhaps what was being communicated to you in the past, or perhaps what you were reading or exploring, you know, the creative works of in the past, that may now be very relevant to you as well. Okay, so the next card you have is the Two of Wands. So it's like you're looking out there. There's a lot of looking out is what I'm getting with that. Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. It's like, and the Hanged One. I feel like it's like there's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of looking out and waiting for the right time, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right opportunity to express what needs to be expressed, to plant a seed of intention. I feel like, to be fair, it's not about that actually. You've already, I feel like you, for the most part, you guys have already planted the seed. You're just now watching and waiting and tending to it to see if it bears any fruit. But I feel like, you know, for a lot of you, it's a case of you're still, even though you're doing that and you've already planted the seed, there is still indecision here. There's still some, you know, there's still some aspect where you feel like, maybe I shouldn't, you know, for some reason you may be feeling like, maybe I shouldn't do this. And there may be an aspect to the situation that's making you question it. I don't know. But it's a case of, even though you've already planted the seed, you're still kind of debating whether or not you should, you know, continue to wait and see if it germinates, or if you should be the one to extend yourself, right? And then finally, the last card is the Sun. Okay, best card in the deck. To end with the Sun, amazing. So Leo energy. We have such strong Leo in your reading. I feel like Leo's energy is taking over, but this is relevant for all fire signs that I'm picking up on. I do feel like with the Sun here, you know, yeah, things are no longer going to feel imbalanced. Things are no longer going to feel like unresolved. Because there's a lot of waiting. I feel like there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of, you know, wait and see. Will this work out? Will it not work out? Should I communicate? Should I try and do this? Should I try and resolve the issue? There's obviously something here. This is all about a resolution that's waiting to take place. And I feel like with the Sun here, that's coming. And it's coming soon. So either you're going to initiate this conversation or someone else will. But I feel like your dark, you know, the dark goddess energy within is giving you that nudge to really take a look at what needs clearing out right now while you're waiting, you know, and really objectively look at this to see, you know, how you feel about the situation now. Because I feel like while you may be still carrying a lot of anger, you do feel differently about it because you had a completely different perspective on this not so long ago. But with this transition that you've been going through, this huge spiritual awakening, you're looking at things very differently. So rather than focusing just on the things that didn't go right and, you know, kind of just leaving it as that, you are starting to look at it from a different perspective. You're seeing where your feelings really lie on the subject and what positives you can draw from it and what you can do to plant more seeds of intention that are going to bring about abundance, happiness, and fulfillment. So that's your reading, fire signs. I really hope this helped. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Okay, and the last reading will be for the air signs. So let's take a look and see what the Dark Goddess wants to reveal this time through the shadow aspect for air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So what is it that air signs need to be aware of at this time? What is the shadow aspect revealing? What is the Dark Goddess wanting to reveal at this time? Okay, so the card you got from the Dark Mirror deck is Naked Before the Stars. Hopefully you can see that. Naked Before the Stars. So this is about body image. This is about self-confidence. This is about physical appearance, right? Being happy with how we are, you know, mind, body, and spirit. But this is mostly focused on the outward appearance, right? And, you know, it's like asking you, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? You know, do you see someone happy or sad? Do you see someone who is content with their body or miserable with their body? You know, do you see curves? Do you see bone structure? Do you see, you know, an excess of weight, a lack of weight? You know, what flaws do you see, imperfections, things like that? All of these things that we, you know, kind of take marks down from ourselves, you know, from. It's just based on, you know, whatever criteria, you know, we put out into society at that time as perfect or beautiful or whatever, right? You know, the mainstream narrative around beauty changes all the time. And it's asking you to really look at yourself objectively and see the beauty that resides within you. I mean, if you put a mirror in front of anyone's face, they are very fast. They can, and ask them to name 3 flaws straight off the bat, they'll be able to tell you usually within seconds. If you ask them to name 3 traits that they love about themselves, physically, it will take them a while, right, usually. And that's because we're so quick to judge ourselves and others than to actually say positive things about ourselves and others. And I feel like this is why this card is coming up for you, air signs. It's asking you to love the body you're in, you know, flaws and all, because they are unique signatures to you. You know, it doesn't matter if society says they're not perfect or they're not the beauty ideal. It's a part of you, embrace it, right? because it doesn't matter what the general consensus is, you know, over the you know, what actually tests, what withstands the test of time in terms of beauty is what is it you have inside that you're allowed to pour out of yourself, right? So for example, if you have a very warm, bubbly, outgoing personality and you exude that, you can see it on your face, right? If you're someone who is very loving or is very you know, empathetic, it shows, right? So that's the thing. And it's saying love all of your curves, love all of your flaws, love your bones, you know, whatever you see as a flaw, you know, your spots, your freckles, your scars, your, I don't know, you could have missing limbs, you could have a lack of hair, an excess of hair, whatever it is. Just embrace you as you are, because there is nothing that, you know, actually defines any of that as being imperfect or ugly. It's just what we associate certain things with certain labels. So change the narrative. Awesome. Okay, so let's go into the Moonology and see what other guidance we can get, what can help you come into a space of self-love and acceptance, especially when it comes to the physicality aspect of it. So you have a full moon in Aries card, right? You have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. So you could be dealing with be dealing with an Aries, or have Aries in your chart. But regardless, it's saying, I feel like whatever made you feel less than, whatever made you feel like unconfident, like inconfident, undesirable, or made you feel ugly in some way, yeah, I feel like that's changing. I feel like something's gonna spark a complete different outlook, a completely different way of looking at yourself. This could be through a connection, this could be through just something someone says that completely makes you step back and reassess everything you thought about beauty, or about, you know, how you should be, you know, or you may just even get certain compliments, or, you know, it could be anything, but I feel like something is going to trigger this. And even though, you know, maybe perhaps, I don't know, I just got something for someone. I feel like for someone, I don't feel like this is everyone, but for someone that I'm picking up on, I feel like you're gonna get into an argument, and it's because you're assuming, or because of what someone said, you think that they see you as undesirable, or they're not attracted to you, when the reality is they're very much attracted to you, but wires got crossed in communication. It could be a language barrier, it could be just a use of phrasing that got miscommunicated or was misunderstood by the, you know, the other person. But I feel like, you know, the other person, you might get into a bit of a heated debate or disagreement about it, and the other person will be like, for goodness sake, can you not see that I think you're incredible, that I think you're beautiful, that I think you're handsome, that I want to be with you? And that might be some kind of shocking revelation that comes in, and you're like, what do you mean? And then they tell you that all these people have been like admiring you all this time while you've been sat there like, you know, feeling like you're not good enough. You've had all these people, you know, really being inspired by you, or enamored of you, or even like really physically attracted to you. So yeah, definitely a complete change in perspective. But yeah, it could be something like that. But I feel like, yeah, something's going to really give you a wake-up call when it comes to how you look physically, because you don't realize that you're actually way more attractive than you give yourself credit for. So, okay, let's go to, wow, I didn't even get, okay, this card was perfect, so I will take it. From the Divine Feminine Oracle, put it that way, you got Inanna. And this is the Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all I am. So this is why I had to take it when it just flew out, because it was so perfect. Inanna, right? So yeah, she was a Babylonian, if I remember correctly. She was like a Babylonian goddess. And she had to descend into the underworld to free her lover or a sister. I've had two different variations of the story. And, but in order to get to her sister, her other self, or to get to her divine counterpart, the divine masculine, she had to go through all these trials. She had to lose a piece of clothing through the process, right? Making, by the time she actually got to her sister or her divine counterpart, her other self, whether it was the feminine or masculine, she was bare, she was naked, right? But she was not afraid, she was not ashamed, because she knew she had nothing to hide and that her cause was just, right? So with that, she became the queen of the underworld and the queen of, the queen of heaven. There's so many different, variations in the story, but essentially she became queen of that realm, right? And she integrated those powers. And that's the thing here. It's like saying, once you claim your power, no matter how vulnerable you have to be in order to do it, right? That will awaken a strength in you like you've never seen before. It will completely change your perspective. You're going to be so powerful. And that's what the Dark Goddess is trying to trigger in you right now. Is you to step into your power, to own your vulnerability, to strip yourself bare and say, here I stand. She's naked, she's in underwear, right? Strip yourself bare and embrace who you are. Because you have nothing to be ashamed of, you have nothing to hide, and you need to accept all that you are. Mind, body, and spirit. Amazing. Okay. So, air signs, let's see what the tarot has to say about this. But I really like this as a message. It's like encouraging you to embrace you in all of your glory, right? And especially because I feel like a lot of you, your hang-ups is to do with some physical attributes, right? Or something to do with the physical side of things. Could be your body, it could be some facial feature, it could be, like I said, an excess of hair, a lack of hair, something to do with weight. I don't know, it's going to be different for everyone. Or a feature, say like you feel like you've got one ear that's bigger than the other. I don't know, like it could be something like that, but it's telling you that you are completely missing the point, that you don't realize just how beautiful you really are or attractive you really are, and that you don't see the beauty that everyone sees in you inside and out, which you are going to start seeing very soon. You're going to realize that about yourself very soon, which is good. Okay, so the next card's amazing. So from the tarot, the first card you had, Ten of Cups. How can you start a card with the Ten of Cups? That's like, how can you start the spread with the Ten of Cups? That's incredible. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is insane. Right? So this is it. This is like wish fulfillment, contentment, happy ever after, getting everything you could ever want, your heart's desire, so much abundance and beauty around you. And this is it. It's like, this is going to trigger this whole new perception of self, realizing your true value, your true worth, and you're going to feel so good about it. And I feel like that's the only thing that's really stopping you from being, like feeling like you're headed towards this Ten of Cups. It's that lack of self-worth, right? And self-love, but that's changing. So I'm really glad that's changing, right? I feel like you are stepping into that vibration, and I feel like as such, you're gonna start attracting even more people that truly see your value, in all aspects. The next card you have is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Really glad this is in reverse. That shows that you've come away from this mindset of not being good enough, not having enough, not being the ideal, not meeting expectations, not having everything that you want. You've come away from this lack mentality to attract even more abundance, right? So it's like the complete opposite energies side by side. So it's like you choosing to focus on your, your positive traits, your strengths, is going to move you even more further away from this lack mentality, to the point where you won't even recognize your former self, right? The next card you have is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's more earth energy. So with this in reverse, I feel like it's a case of you need to know that you know, this is the decisions you make are going to help propel you forward. So if you're choosing to put yourself first, you're to really invest time into rewiring how you perceive yourself, rewiring how you communicate to yourself, the kind of thoughts you have about yourself, how you express who you are to others, that's going to have a huge impact in your progress, in your happiness, in your abundance, in your manifestations overall. Next card you have is the Two of Swords, okay? Air energy, your energy. So I feel like it's a case of, with this being here, you need to know that happiness is a choice. You know, self-love is a choice. And by choosing self-love, that's what's going to propel you towards your Ten of Cups, towards everything you ever wanted, towards feeling like you have everything you could ask for. If you choose to not go down that path and to fall back into old habits, self-sabotage, you know, fueling the shadow with, you know, negative thoughts and self-beliefs, then obviously you're just going to undo all of the work that you've been doing, right? Okay, so the next card you have is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So, yeah, it's a case of, it all depends on you, right? It all depends on you as to whether or not you're in this energy of being abundant. You know, this is like Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles is the pre-Empress card it's often referred to. So it ultimately depends on you, right? But to be honest, it's like a case of, what I'm getting here, sorry, there's a lot coming in, so I just need to slow it down. Right, for some of you, I feel like you choosing to walk away from feelings of lack, walking away from acts, you know, habits of this habit of self-sabotaging, right? By you choosing to not do that anymore, you may be attracting your divine counterpart, right? That is possible here. Someone who's like the mirror opposite of you, possibly. You know, on the same exact scale, but you're just mirror opposites, so you reflect and complement each other very well. That's what I'm getting for some of you, especially with that Ten of Cups as well, the Two of Swords. I feel like, yeah, for some of you, you are attracting your, like a twin flame, divine soulmate type connection. The more you choose to walk away from self-sabotaging, from, you know, talking yourself out of your own abundance and blessings. So, awesome. And then finally, the last card you have is the Seven of Pentacles. So lots of earth energy here. So I feel like, and the thing is, on all four, out of the four cards here that you have that are Pentacles, 3 of them are in reverse, right? But this last one isn't, and this is about Seven of Pentacles. This is about progress. This is about self, you know, self-help. This is about personal growth, right? And looking at what you've invested your time and resources into, and seeing if this, you know, reflecting and assessing if this is the right direction to continue investing into, or if perhaps you need to reassess, right? So that's what I feel like is happening overall. Is like you're kind of changing out of this vibration of self-loathing or not feeling very good about yourself into a vibration where you start to feel more attractive, more abundant, and as such, you then kind of call in your divine counterpart who you end up having happy ever after with, right? But ultimately, the work never ends, regardless of how this connection comes in, because bear in mind, this is like right under each other, right? And it's the first row. So I feel like some of you have already met this person. Some of you are about to meet this person, if you haven't already. And I feel like you have a choice here. You have a choice to either, you know, self-sabotage or to have faith, believe in the connection and yourself, and see all of this gorgeous, beautiful, emotional abundance thrive around you and this person, right? But regardless, while all of that's happening, you know, even when you're having this like happy ever after, the work never ends, right? You always have to keep putting the work into yourself, into the connection, like the relationship, right? The work never ends. So as long as you don't lose sight of that, I think all will be good, right? I really do get a sense of that. And I feel like this person is helping you to see the beauty within you, because I think this person is also aware of your ascendant and shadow aspects, right? They've probably seen both sides of you already, and they're taking you on as a full package, right? They see you as the full package, the real deal. Amazing. So now it's up to you, really. The ball's in your court, air signs, you know, as to where you go from here. And as I said, if you haven't attracted this person already, if you don't know who this person is, they're coming in very, very soon, for those of you who I'm picking up on. So I hope this reading helps. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And I will speak to you guys soon. Okay, so that was all of the Elements Dark Moon Lilith readings. I hope you find them helpful. It was really just to get a sense of what your the shadow aspect of the divine feminine is trying to reveal at this time for you, to help you with your healing, your progress, kind of like shadow work. But really it's more about just pulling on the archetypal energy and seeing what's going to help support you at this time, get you back into true alignment, okay? So I really hope you found these readings useful. Let me know if you did, and I may make it more of a regular occurrence. The format will probably slightly change because it will just depend on, you know, what's happening at the time. But yeah, hopefully this was interesting for you. I hope you get some useful guidance out of it. And yeah, just want to say thank you very much for checking it out. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit the button and hit the notifications bell so you're informed of when the next set of readings goes up on the channel. I know there's been some issues with the algorithm lately, so the best thing you can do is just go onto my channel and just make sure that all notifications are checked on through the notification bell, okay? And yeah, so I'll be doing another reading for you tomorrow. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.